Welcome to our next episode of using AI agents. Today, the question is, can you replace your lawyer by an AI? Or can you use AI to save money on your lawyer fee? And if you're a lawyer, can you be more efficient and serve more clients at the same time? The topic of today is legal research. We tested AIs into a fictitious case that we've created for our AI for lawyer training into doing a very important step of any legal action, which is legal research. Let's look at the results that we had testing those AI. These are the AI that we tested. For some of them, we tested two different models. Copilot, we tested quick answer and think deeper. For Kimi, we tested with and without web search. Same thing for DeepSeek 3, and for AI Lawyer. AI Lawyer is the only law-specific AI solution that we looked at. All the other solutions are generic AI that maybe some of you are using, that we have just used for that particular purpose of doing legal research. And why didn't we use more AI-specific lawyer tools? Because the other AI tools, you cannot test them freely. AI Lawyer is the only one where you can create a test account and you can do legal research. Other services don't do legal research, they just do contract drafting and contract comparison. And a lot of the AI tools for lawyers requires for you to contact a salesperson, have a demonstration. We don't want a demonstration, we want to test the tool. And part of my conclusion doing this research is, why don't they let me test their AI? If your AI is super good, you want as many people as possible to test it, and you want as many people as possible to see how good the results are. But for some reason, a lot of those AIs don't give trial access. Probably not in the mindset of being an AI company or more of a startup. In order to get good results in legal research, you need a very extensive prompt. You need to have all the right elements. Actually, this prompt is not even the first one. This prompt is the third step of legal research. There are some preparation work that we go through in our AI for lawyer training. This is the prompt. And of course, as usual, when we do AI comparison, we use the same prompt for all the AI so we can compare the results. For example, here, when we use an AI with search capabilities, we have the references here. This one being DeepSeek v3. We can go and double check the source of information. Do they make sense? Are they good? Yeah. When we use DeepSeek, so the same model, but without the web search, we don't have any references at the end. So this is just a general understanding of the law in that particular jurisdiction of Hong Kong that is inside the model. And this is where you have risk of hallucination. They happen less and less, but there is still a risk that some of those cases here are the wrong one, in which case double checking them is a must. With web search, as we saw right now, first of all, it's faster because you can get to the source of information and the chances of hallucination. So first of all, you can check the references the way they are, and the chances of having an hallucination is also lower. If we look at Manus agents, we can see even more details. Manus is very good at showing us output. So for example, when it looks for this particular citation cap 26, we can see the page, we can see where the AI was looking, that it scroll down, that it click on an element, and that it type bridge to do a search there, continue to view the page, and so on and so on. So we can really go down into the process, and this level of transparency is actually extremely important for any legal professional to go back and check the sources and verify the accuracy. So out of all these AIs, how do they compare? So first of all, we looked at citations. So these are all the citations that come across all the AI and comments into why they are relevant to our case. A few words about the case. The case are two companies. One is supposed to pay royalties for using some intellectual property to the company who owns the intellectual property. There's a suspicion of underreporting the utilization of the intellectual property, and the owner of the intellectual property wants to sue them. And through the first part of the legal research, we reached the conclusion that the key points were burden of proof, actual framework about royalty management, and the fact that under-reporting utilization of intellectual property is a material breach. Yeah. All these citations will fall under one of these three categories. So here we see burden of proof, restitution remedies, contractual rights, good contracts, material breach, etc., etc., etc. So these are the 15 citations. And here we have a comparison. So we see that different model will give different citation and different references. Some will give very, very little. So Copilot Quick will only give 3 out of them. And we also saw that some citations are really obvious because all the models, so the number 1, all the model gave them, number 4, number 3, almost all of them. So we see the level of completion and how these different models give different results. So 2 are universal recognition, and the broadest coverage is Kimi K2 web. That cites almost all of them, except a few that only DeepSeek found. Second is accuracy. Are these references accurate? Again, if you have tried to use some generic AI for legal research, you may end up with fake citations, things that don't exist. So we asked the AI to go and look for it. We didn't do a manual search, so there is still a remaining risk that the AI had a bias for confirmation. But knowing that most of them have been cited by the different AIs, I think the risk is way lower. All of this is available on our website, in our blog. If some of you out there want to do a final and thorough verification, we'll be very happy to correct ourselves if there is any mistake or if there is any hallucination. Finally, which is quite interesting, when we gave all the comparison to an AI, the AI found that there were some gaps and that actually these 3 should have been cited, and they were missing from all of the AI. Now, knowing that we use one AI that has part of the comparison to do the analysis, it's funny that the AI didn't find it, but then when it's trying to criticize the others, it finds that this is missing. Next, we're looking at depth of the analysis. So these criteria have been generated by the AI once we fed all the 10 AI's results. And it found that definition of a material breach test, a remedy breakdown, etc., and the number of citations that are specific to the jurisdiction. That's also part of the analysis to see which one of those AIs are going deeper. And then a few insights on this one. And finally, a practical application. We're looking at the AI giving some advice because this legal research leads to opinions. At the end, it's maybe a binary decision: should the company sue or not sue their partner? But at the end, the whole construction and the rationale for doing legal research is to reach an educated guess. We ask for ranking of the practical application in all the aspects that we wanted to look at. Under-reporting detection, material breach, remedy, and burden of proof. Strangely, the AI lawyer is not coming out very, very strongly on this one. The only specific lawyer there is there at the bottom. So those generic AI are actually giving better results, more explanation, more extensive results individually. And then when we add up those scores, these top the 2 AnyGen, Copilot Think Deeper, and K2 Web are going actually very, very good results. And finally, last criteria of analysis, we want to look at clarity of output. But we want to look at clarity of output from 2 different points of view. One, is it clear? Is it very clear for a legal professional? If the legal research is done by a professional, they are not looking at the same level of understanding, and they are not looking at the same depth of analysis as if I'm only a business person. I'm using AI before talking to my lawyer. If it's really good for a legal professional, it's not going to be good for me as an entrepreneur, and the other way around. So we asked them to rank on a 5-star review. So for a legal professional, what are important as annotated citation and doctrine hierarchy, case parsing, and statute cross-references. This is what the lawyer is going to need to continue their research manually and have an educated opinion and trust or not what the AI is doing. On the other side, for business professional, is there some plain language? Is the AI talking to me in a language I understand? And are there things that I can use for making my own decision? So strangely enough, Kimi K2 is on both sides. So it's providing both enough information for a legal person and also enough information to a non-legal business professional. Copilot Quick rank very poorly for a legal person, but rank very highly for plain language summary. Maybe it's a risk because it didn't do that AI didn't do such a thorough analysis, but at the end, it's explaining things in a more simple language. So, general conclusion. Well, the general conclusion is you may not need an AI-specific solution. It's a little bit difficult to be too strong on that argument because we couldn't test the other legal AI solutions on the market because they didn't give us a free trial account. But what we can say for sure is that general AI are extremely good. They give us good information. Now, they give us good information because we have a very thorough prompt, which we design with a legal professional, and it's part of our AI for lawyers training. That means that if you have a very good prompt, you can use a general AI to do legal research. You don't need to purchase some very expensive AI solution. You can do it. Of course, our prompt was very thorough. We've designed it with legal professionals, and it's part of our AI for lawyer training. That's it for today. I hope you enjoy the discussion. This is what you can see on the screen is a blog post, a very detailed blog post that you can read if you want more details. Again, if you're a legal professional, you're most welcome to go have a look and say if we miss any subtleties in there. Register to our channel if you want more of this type of comparison. We're going to do them in different areas of different companies and different professions. So stay tuned for the next episode of Working with AI Agents.